Aloha and welcome to the Journey Written Interview Experience. I am Brit Lashae, writer, author, and founder of Journey Written. Journey Written is a self-writing and publishing company for women to share their stories and to help another woman break their silence. So we are super excited. Today we have Miss Elaine joining us, and I am so honored to have her as a client. We are honored to have her as a client. She is the author of Once Bitten, Twice Prepared. It is an amazing book, and we are going to learn all about her story, all about her journey. We have 3 parts to this interview. The preface, which we are going to really talk about her book. We have the author's corner, where we get to know her a little bit deeper, and then we have the Journey Written hot seat, so we can learn about her experience with Journey Written. Hey, Elaine.
Hi, Brit.
Hey, so we are going to start with the preface, and I'm just going to have you introduce yourself to the audience. Let them know who you are.
Okay, well, I'm Elaine Collier. I'm in the UK. I'm British, and I live at home with my non-blood family, but hey, it works for me. You can read more about all that in the book. Yes, I have turned to writing.
So let's talk about your book. What exactly is it about?
The book is about my journey with breast cancer. I have had 2 diagnoses, 14 years apart, but my experience, the first time and the second time, have been totally different. And I put that down to my own spirituality and my own personal development within those 14 years apart. And it's just helped me so much deal with the breast cancer the second time. And if it helps one woman deal with her journey through breast cancer, then my job is done.
I love that. And it definitely will help at least one woman. It's such a powerful story, and I'm super excited for everyone to read about it. Can you discuss to us about your motivation and your inspiration about your book and why you decided to write your book?
When I was diagnosed for the second time, which was only last year, I started to keep a journal. I'm very into journaling. I think it's a wonderful therapeutic tool that helps with all sorts of things. And going through the breast cancer journey, you can feel totally alone, and you hold back a lot of things that you feel you can't talk to with anybody else, and especially your nearest and dearest, because you don't want to upset them and you want to be strong for them as well. So journaling for me is a way to get everything out in a safe and secure way. During one of the entries I made into the journal, that I'd actually written at the end, who knows, one day I might turn this into a book. And reading that back several months later, I thought, why not? Why not? I had sown the seed, or the seed had been sown for me. It was now time to act on that. So that's the inspiration behind the book, or how it got started.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And journaling is just so powerful. Like, I love to journal. It's so many things that you can just pour out. You can be yourself and just release. So thank you for speaking on that. So describe your writing experiences, like the challenges, any triggers that may have come up and how you were able to handle those, what you learned as well.
The first journey with breast cancer was, I guess, as most people would expect it to be, horrendous. That comes out in the book. I don't gloss over that. It is horrendous. The second journey was so much different, although I did have a few days where I went to a very dark place. I don't think anyone can be told that they have breast cancer without visiting those dark places. And indeed, I think that's all part and parcel of the journey. The secret is to visit those dark places, but then pull yourself back out of them. And for me, it got to a point where I thought, I can't stay here anymore. I can't stay in this dark place anymore. It's making me an anxious, stressed out, nervous wreck. And it was also bringing about some real physical symptoms as well. And I thought, I've got to get out of this. So the first thing I did was turn back to my meditation and start to use that to bring myself back up. And that worked very well for me. Within a couple of days, I was climbing back out of the dark place again. And then I found a course, an online course that I want to do. And remember, this is all in the COVID lockdown. And here in the UK, we were locked down almost completely. So I found a course, online course that I wanted to do, and I did that. And that gave me so much inspiration and so much help that I came back out of the dark place. And yeah, I used other bits and pieces as well. I'm another firm believer in shadow work, to get to know yourself, warts and all, and then work on that.
Love it. Love it. How did you handle any triggers that came up as you were writing your story, writing your book?
Oh, well, not brilliantly. I mean, I had a few moments where I went back to places I didn't want to be. I shed tears. I didn't go to dark places anymore because I thought, you've done that. That's in the past. You can't dwell there. It's all about living in the now. That's all we have, is this moment. So I had to do that. I didn't dwell on the past, but it did trigger the emotions. And I have to say, Brit, you was a trigger to lots of emotions. You know, you made me really think, dig deep. And I thank you for that.
Yes, that is my job as the book writing coach, to really pull those parts of your story out of you, but also be there to kind of help you navigate that part so we can put those parts in the story to help you release. So definitely so proud of you throughout the whole process. Like, you really rocked it out. One last question for this section. What can the reader hope to gain from your book, or what would you like the reader to gain from your book?
My hopes for the reader is that she or he, because men get breast cancer too, but they will see that there is an alternative way of navigating through the journey. When it strikes, when any trauma strikes, suddenly you've lost control. Somebody else is in control of your life, and it's horrible. And I didn't like that one little bit. And I felt that very strongly with the first breast cancer journey. The second one was I was in control. So I want the reader to feel that they can be in control. They can do what they want to do. This is their life, their journey. And I've very much felt the second time that this was my cancer to deal with in my way. So that's what I want them to get from the book. And also, this is about breast cancer, but it could equally apply to any trauma situation that people find themselves in any given moment through life.
Most definitely. Yeah, she gives a lot of great tools of how she was able to move through breast cancer both times. So definitely, like you stated, it's not just for people who maybe experience breast cancer, but people who have experienced some type of trauma or anything in their life, just some inspiration and motivation as well. So next, we're going to move to the author's corner, where we get to know more about Elaine. So my first question to you is, have you always wanted to be a writer?
No.
I love this question.
I never ever thought I would write. I enjoy writing. I mean, from the business that I ran, writing was quite big in that, in trying to write courses and workshops and things like that. And I really, really enjoyed that. It was never my intention to write a book or become a writer. And I think that really came about because with the COVID situation, work had died down. We were in lockdown, not going out, not doing any social stuff. So I had to fill my time with something. What better than to, try and write a book? At the beginning of it, I never dreamed it would actually get published. Every step of the way, every step of the way was a complete surprise and revelation to me.
Love it. I love it. So describe your writing space or the time of day that you love to write. Is it a specific time, or is it just when you get inspiration?
No, I like to write first thing in the morning when I get up. I get up, get showered, dressed, do all the things I have to do, and then I go into my writing space, which is usually up here in my little office area. It was my son's bedroom, but he no longer lives here, so it's my space now. And it's quiet and I can be on my own and I can write. And I'll write for a couple of hours or until I feel I've got nothing more to say at that time. And then I stop and that's it.
Yeah, it's definitely important to provide those breaks and walk away and come back. I know we discussed that a lot. Tell us what you like to do when you're not writing. Like, what are your favorite hobbies, pastimes? What do you like to do?
I walk. I like to get out and walk. Nature for me is a biggie. It restores and refreshes me. So I do like to walk and I try to do it every single day. It's only about 2 miles, 2.5 miles, but it's exercise and it's getting the fresh air. I crochet. I am addicted, absolutely addicted to crocheting. So in any spare time, especially in the evenings, when I want to relax, out comes my crocheting and filling the house up with all sorts of stuff that need to go somewhere, but I don't know where yet.
What's your favorite thing to crochet?
Into blankets at the moment.
Okay.
But I get bored very quickly, so the more intricate the pattern, the better.
I love that. I didn't even know you love to crochet like that. I wanted to start that hobby, so I think that's pretty cool.
It's wonderful because actually crocheting, knitting is very much a mindfulness hobby thing to do, because while you're immersed in that crocheting, especially if it's a complicated pattern, you haven't got room to think of anything else, you know. The stresses and strains of everyday living just go.
I definitely love that. So we are going to hop over to the Journey Written hot seat where we get to ask Elaine about her experience with Journey Written. So Elaine, first question, how was your overall experience with Journey Written?
Well, it was amazing, Brit, because you've pulled out of me stuff that I never thought possible, stuff that I'd forgotten, and you kept me going. Where I might have just left it, you kept me focused and going. And I very much looked forward to our weekly Zoom calls and for you to bring out more stuff. Although I would say that some of that stuff you brought out was quite traumatic to relive it, but that's what needed to be done. So yes, I've loved it. And you've kept in contact all the way through. So I knew at what stage we were at. You know, I was never left wondering what next.
Love it. Absolutely love that. Thank you. Thank you for being a client. Thank you for sharing, being vulnerable. And trusting me with that information and definitely allowing us to be able to help you along with this journey. So super, like I said, I'm super excited for you. You did an amazing job. So explain to, someone who may not know what a book writing coach is, if you can describe your definition of what a book writing coach is.
In my opinion, the book writing coach, and I'd never had experience before I met you, Brit, it is looking at the book or looking at what you're writing about, giving feedback as to whether that is actually going to work or not work, making you think. I mean, the first thing you did was to make me do the brain dump, and that brought up a whole lot of stuff, and I had a list as well, many pages, I think, eventually, of stuff that we should include in the book. And then you, or a book coach, helps to structure those points into a readable format. And I know I said to you once, should that bit go there or should it go there? And that's the feedback I got, was no, leave it there because it gives more impact. So that was everything I wanted. I'd never written a book before. I was struggling with the structure of writing a book, and you gave me that structure and, yes, sound advice.
Yes, love it. So this is one of my favorite questions. If you can describe your experience in 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
3 words?
3 words.
Oh, my. 3 words. Well, first of all, I would say you motivated me. You reassured. Reassurance was a big one. and empowerment. You empowered me to write the book I've written.
I love those words.
What did I say? Motivation, definitely. Reassurance, empowerment.
I love those words. Thank you.
Is that okay?
Yeah, no, hey, it's your words. Like, people know this is not scripted. So these are your words. It's perfectly fine. I really want you to share what you experience and being honest. So I definitely appreciate all the honesty. And, what advice would you give a woman who is new to telling her story?
Do it, by all means do it, but be prepared along the way for, especially if your story is quite a difficult story, your life, the experience of your story has been quite traumatic or difficult for you to live through. Be prepared to go back to some dark places along the way, but just get that story out, because I fully believe that in telling stories, if women are telling their stories, we are helping other women help to avoid some of the mistakes and the pitfalls that maybe we made. It's not always our job to tell people what to do or how to do it. I believe that everybody's journey is their own journey.
Right.
They have to learn by their own experience. But for me, it's more about encouragement to say, yeah, okay, you've been there, you've done that, it wasn't very nice, it was horrible. You've come through it. You're a strong woman. You've got through this. Be strong for other women so that you can show them that they too can do it.
I absolutely love that. That is some sound advice for another woman. And I love when our authors are able to really encourage another woman to share that, because you have shared your story and been through this journey of sharing your story. So thank you for that encouragement. I thank you for your time. And one last question I always like to ask: would you recommend Journey Written to another woman?
Definitely. I mean, when I found you, I was guided. There's no doubt about that, because you was the last on the list. And I had almost given up. I mean, my son said to me at the start of the journey, Mum, you need to find a book midwife who can help you birth your book. And I thought, really? And so I started to look, found you, bottom of the list, and as soon as I clicked on your link, I knew Journey Written was for me. It may not be for every woman or every story, but if you're writing about your own journey, your own story, then certainly Brit and Journey Written, totally recommend. Why would you go anywhere else?
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for watching this interview with such an amazing author. And she did such an amazing job. I'm super excited about her book. I'm super excited for people to be inspired, to be motivated, to be touched by her story. It's such an amazing story. And I want to give you the chance to let people know where they can find you, where they can follow you, and just any last words that you want to give readers as advice or motivation or anything else.
My advice would be just get started. It is the start that's sometimes the most difficult. And that's true of journaling as well. You sit wondering, what are you going to be your first words? It doesn't matter. Put anything down. Just write. Just get started, because you can go back and change it. So my advice would be to start doing it and see where it takes you. Enjoy the journey of writing. I mean, it's been a process for me, and I've loved the process. I never thought I would love it as much as I do. And now I want to continue writing. I want to be a writer. I want to be an author. I don't know what the difference is. I think the author is pretty grand a title. So at the moment, I'll just stick with a writer and enjoy it. So yes, tell your story. Just start.
And where can they find you? Do you have a website, social media, anywhere that they can just follow you if they want to follow your story? It is so powerful. So this interview is all about you. So I want to make sure that people are able to follow you and continue on with your journey.
Okay, well, yes, I do have a website. It's ElaineCollier.com, and it's all about my writing journey. There's a blog page on there as well. So the process of writing a book is a long one. I couldn't wait for another another book without doing something in between. So I blog on there as well. So you can find me there. The links to the book will be there as soon as they're ready. So you can see every step of the way where you can buy the book and find me that way. And I also have a Facebook page. And again, I think that's Elaine K. Collier on the Facebook page. Regular posts going up there. And again, the links will be put up there once I have them. So they're the two ways that you can find me.
Love it. Yes, make sure you support her, follow her, and follow her journey. It's such a beautiful story and journey. We thank you, Elaine, for being on the Journey Written interview experience. We thank you all for tuning in as well. We definitely appreciate you that you check out the Journey Written bookstore and check out our services as well. We are at www.journeywritten.com. If you have any questions, hello@journeywritten. And we love to see it. We appreciate you all, and bye. See you next time.